What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. What are the best business schools in the US? Well, ask 10 people and you will get 10 different answers. The only way to really come up with a real answer is by looking at MBA rankings. And there are quite a few of them out there. The most notable one is probably US News, followed by Bloomberg and Forbes. And then there are a bunch of other institutions that rank US schools, but those three are the most prominent ones, especially US News. If you want to know more about rankings and how they work, I did a video about that and you can watch it by clicking here. Now, I'm not going to go through every single ranking to see where each school is ranked. After all, every ranking has different underlying methodologies and criteria they consider. What I want to focus on in this video are those schools that are sort of in the top 10 in most rankings. Schools that are unarguably the best. And because there will always be discussions around the top 10 of the best business schools in the US, I will not personally rank them, but talk about each school individually in no particular order. And with that said, here are the best business schools in the US. The most famous business school in the state of California, and certainly one of the most widely known business schools across the globe, is Stanford Business School. Stanford is based in a little town called Stanford, which itself is located 35 miles south of San Francisco and 20 miles north of San Jose. And with that, it is in the heart of Northern California's Silicon Valley, home to Yahoo, Google, Hewlett-Packard, and many other tech companies that were started by Stanford alumni and faculty. Stanford Business School is known for being one of the most selective business schools, if not the most selective one. Of the 6,190 students who applied to the Stanford MBA class of 2025, the school decided to go with around 430 students, which means that Stanford accepted around 7% of its applications. Not only is Stanford very selective, but the business school also has a highly diverse class. 46% of its MBA class of 2025 is female, and 36% of its students are international students coming from 55 different countries. And because Stanford attracts some of the world's most brilliant minds, their GPA and GMAT or GRE test scores are significantly higher than many other schools. The average GPA of the Stanford MBA class of 2025 is 3.77. For the GMAT and GRE, Stanford does not make a difference and has no minimum score for its applicants. 61% of the class submitted GMAT scores with an average of 738, and 39% applied with GRE scores and an average of 328. When it comes to salaries after graduating from their MBA program, the Stanford class of 2023 received a median base salary of $182,500. Over 1/3 of the 2023 class landed positions in finance, followed by technology with 24%, private equity with 18%, and consulting with 15%. The majority of Stanford's 2023 MBA graduates chose to work in North America, with the West being the most popular region, attracting 50% of the class, while the Northeast accounted for 31%. If you're looking to become self-employed at Stanford, you're at the right place, because entrepreneurship is a big thing at Stanford. 25% of the class of 2023 started their own ventures. The most notable surge for the class of 2023 came from students launching their own search funds. As you would expect, an MBA at the best business schools isn't cheap. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $126,000 per year. So, Stanford is a dream school for many students. It opens a lot of doors, whether you want to become a high-paid employee or whether you want to start your own venture. Either way, it's highly selective, but once you're in, you'll be set up for success. Next on the list is the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, which is based in Philadelphia. Wharton has quite a large class size of over 870 students. For the class of 2025, a total of around 6,200 people applied and only 14% got accepted to their MBA program. Diversity is very important at Wharton, and you can see this in their female to male ratio, which is at 50% of the class of 2025. In terms of international students, 31% are from outside the US and from around 70 countries. A world-class school like Wharton attracts the brightest minds, and this is reflected in their test scores. The average GPA of the Wharton class of 2025 is 3.6, the average GMAT score is 728, and the average GRE score is 324. When you take a look at the undergraduate majors, you can see that the highest number of Wharton class of 2025 students have a background in humanities with 40%, followed by STEM programs with 33% and business with 27%. As far as work experience is concerned, every student in the Wharton class of 2025 has some work experience, with the average work experience at around 5 years. Let's take a look at this chart. You can see that 27% of the Wharton class of 2024 has a background in consulting, followed by private equity / venture capital and technology. As far as job and career statistics go, the Wharton class of 2023 received a median base salary of $175,000. Finance is generally very strong at Wharton, and over 37% made it into financial services, which breaks down into investment banking / brokerage, private equity and buyouts, investment management, venture capital, insurance and diversified services, and hedge funds / other investments. Consulting emerged as another top career choice for Wharton MBA graduates in 2023, with around 29% securing roles in that field, followed by technology. The vast majority of Wharton MBA graduates from 2023 landed jobs within the US, while only a small percentage opted for international opportunities. Interestingly, within the US, the Northeast proved to be the most popular landing spot, drawing almost half of the graduates. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $127,000 per year. So Wharton is a great business school across many areas. Although its strength as a finance program receives a lot of attention because of its excellent placement in that industry, Wharton is equally powerful in areas like entrepreneurship and technology. And if you want to end up in consulting, Wharton will also be a great platform for you to enable that move. Moving on to the next school on the list, Harvard Business School, or simply HBS, was founded in 1908, and it's probably the one school that carries the strongest brand recognition globally. HBS is located in Allston, just across the Charles River from the Cambridge campus of Harvard University, which is in the greater Boston area. For the class of 2025, Harvard Business School received over 8,100 applications and has a class size of around 930, which is an enrollment rate of 11.5%. Just like other top-tier business schools, HBS cares a lot about maintaining diversity in the class, and this is reflected in the numbers. 45% of the class of 2025 is female, and 39% of students are foreign-born. The biggest chunk of international students comes from Asia with 15%, followed by Europe with 10%. As you would imagine, HBS is a dream school for a lot of prospective students. That's why a lot of people end up applying, and that's why the school can be very selective. The average GPA score of the HBS class of 2025 is 3.73, the median GMAT score is 740, and the median GRE score is 326. Of course, every student has at least an undergraduate degree, and most of the students of the class of 2025 have a background in engineering, followed by business and economics. Also, every student in the HBS class of 2025 has work experience. The average work experience is around 5 years, with 17% having a background in consulting and venture capital / private equity, followed by technology and financial services and consumer products and retail. When it comes to salaries post-MBA, the class of 2023 received a median base salary of $175,000. 57% of the class even received a signing bonus of around $30,000, and 70% received a performance bonus of around $40,000. The top industries for HBS MBA graduates include consulting, private equity, technology, investment management and hedge funds, venture capital, manufacturing, healthcare, non-profit and governments, consumer products, investment banking, and other financial services. The majority of the class of 2023 graduates secured employment within the United States, constituting 89% of the total placements. And 13% of the class of 2023 joined a startup. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $120,000 per year. So if you think about some of the top business schools in the world, chances are you're going to think of Harvard Business School. The brand speaks for itself. Alright, moving on to the next one. The University of Chicago's Booth School of Business was founded in 1898 and is located in the heart of downtown Chicago. The school is known for its strong emphasis on experiential learning and a focus on developing analytical and critical thinking skills. What's interesting about Chicago Booth is that it's the only US business school to have permanent campuses on 3 continents. Booth opened its first international campus in Barcelona in 1994. Since then, they have expanded their global reach and grown to 3 campuses located in Chicago, London, and Hong Kong. In terms of selectivity, a total of around 4,200 people applied to be a part of the MBA class of 2025, and 15% of the applicants, or slightly over 630 students, ultimately enrolled. Just like the other schools I already mentioned, diversity is very important at Booth. 42% of the MBA class of 2025 is female, and 36% are international students, with the biggest chunk coming from Asia with 17%, followed by Mexico, Central and South America with 11%. Regarding test scores and GPA, the average GPA of the class of 2025 is 3.6, the median GMAT score is 730, and the average GRE score is 325. Most students in the MBA class of 2025 have a background in business, followed by engineering and economics. Obviously, work experience is a requirement. The average work experience is 5 years, with 19% having a background in financial services, followed by consulting with 18% and technology with 15%. With an MBA from Chicago Booth, you can expect a base salary of $175,000 and a signing bonus of $30,000. The typical industries graduates enter are consulting and financial services, each at around 35%. Over 94% of the graduates find employment in the United States, and the rest chose to work outside the US. In the US, around 31% found jobs in the Midwest, and around 30% in the Northeast. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $122,000 per year. Columbia Business School was founded in 1916 and is located on the university's Manhattanville campus in New York, in an oasis of peace in the middle of Manhattan's busy Upper West Side. For the class of 2024, CBS received around 6,200 applications, and the school decided to go ahead with around 840 of them. This means that around 14% of its applications were accepted. With the 2024 class, Columbia managed to achieve a lot of diversity. 44% of its MBA class is female, and 51% are international students coming from many different countries. The average GPA of the Columbia class of 2024 is 3.6. Furthermore, the class's average GMAT score is 729, ranging from 550 to 780. Among the class of 2024, more than half the students, so 54%, have a background in STEM programs. 40% of the class has a background in business, and the remaining 6% has a background in humanities. The average work experience is 5 years, with 29% of the class having a background in financial services, while another 20% has a background in consulting, and 11% of the class also had a marketing and media background. As far as salaries go, you can expect to receive a median base salary of $175,000. Now, where do CBS graduates end up working? A third of the class typically finds themselves employed in consulting, another third in financial services, and 15 to 20% go on to pursue a career in media and technology. Just like the other schools I already mentioned, the majority, around 86% of the class, tends to be employed by companies in North America. Of the remaining 14%, half of the graduates find employment in Asia. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $127,000 per year, which is in line with the other schools I already talked about. And I think that's a fair deal given that the school is in New York City, which itself is one of the most expensive cities in the world. The MIT Sloan School of Management began in 1914 and is based in Cambridge, Massachusetts, and is in close proximity to Harvard University. MIT Sloan did not disclose the number of applications it received for the 2023 admissions. However, 409 candidates enrolled in MIT Sloan's full-time MBA class of 2025. Again, diversity is an ongoing topic at every business school. Almost half, we're talking about 46% of the MIT Sloan class of 2025 is female, and 40% of students are international citizens and represent 60 countries. MIT Sloan is known for being a very technical school and therefore is home to some of the brightest minds in the world. So it's quite understandable that the GPA and test scores will be on the higher side. The average GPA of the MIT Sloan class of 2025 is 3.6 and the average GMAT score is 729. The average work experience is 5 years, with 26% of the class of 2025 having a background in consulting, followed by technology and financial services. The MIT Sloan class of 2022 received a median base salary of $165,000. Moreover, 63% of the class received a median signing bonus of $30,000 and a median performance bonus of $40,000. 94% of the class of 2022 found employment in the United States, and a mere 6% chose to work outside the US. And in the US, 54% found jobs in the Northeast and 19% in the West. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $110,000 per year. The Kellogg School of Management is the business school of Northwestern University and is based in Evanston, Illinois. For the class of 2025, around 530 candidates enrolled in the school's full-time MBA program. Almost half of the class is female and 39% of the students are international citizens. The average GPA of the class of 2025 is 3.7, the average GMAT score is 731, and the median GRE score is 325. The highest number of students has a background in business and economics, followed by STEM programs and humanities. The average work experience is 5 years, with 26% of the class having a background in consulting, followed by financial services and technology. The class of 2023 received a median base salary of $175,000. Moreover, 85% of the class received a median signing bonus of $30,000. 42% of the class of 2022 found employment in consulting, followed by financial services and technology. The majority of the class found employment in the United States, and the rest chose to work outside the US. In the US, 32% found jobs in the Midwest and 24% in the Northeast. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $120,000 per year. The Yale School of Management, often referred to as Yale SOM, is the graduate business school of Yale University and based in New Haven, Connecticut. The MBA class of 2025 consists of around 340 students and has 40% women and 50% international students. The median GPA of the class of 2024 is 3.6, the median GMAT score is 720, and the median GRE score is 330. Most of the students of the class of 2025 have a background in STEM and humanities and social sciences. Every student of the class of 2025 has some work experience. The average work experience is a little over 5 years, with 24% of the class having a background in financial services, followed by consulting and technology. The class of 2022 received a median base salary of $160,000 and the median signing bonus was $30,000. 46% of the Yale SOM MBA class of 2022 found employment in consulting, followed by around 22% in financial services and around 8% in technology. Candidates finding employment in consulting and financial services received the highest median salary of $175,000. 51% of the class of 2022 found employment in consulting, followed by finance and marketing. 91% of the class found employment in the United States, and around 9% chose to work outside the US. In the US, around 54% found jobs in the Northeast and around 22% in the West. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $115,000 per year. Another California-based business school is the University of California, Berkeley, which is a public research university in Berkeley, California. Their business school is called the Walter Haas School of Business, which is also called Berkeley Haas. It is ranked as one of the best business schools in the world and was the first business school at a public university in the United States. The school is based in Berkeley, California, which is a city on the eastern shore of San Francisco Bay and around 50 miles away from Stanford University. The MBA class of 2025 is quite small and consists of only 244 students, with 41% being female and 47% of students being international. The median GPA of the class of 2025 is 3.6, the average GMAT score is 733, and the average GRE score is 324. The highest number of the class of 2024 students have a background in engineering, followed by economics and social sciences. The median work experience is almost 6 years, with 24% of the class of 2025 having a background in consulting, followed by technology and financial services. The class of 2022 received a median base salary of $155,000 and a signing bonus of around $33,000. Almost 33% of the class of 2022 found employment in technology and telecom, followed by consulting and financial services. The class of 2022 students who found employment in consulting received the highest median salaries of $175,000, followed by real estate with almost $150,000 and marketing with $145,000. The total cost of attendance is around $112,000 for California residents and $124,000 for non-California residents. New York University is a private research university in New York City, and its business school is the Leonard Stern School of Business, also known as NYU Stern. It started in 1900 and is located in the heart of New York City. A total of around 3,500 people applied to be a part of the NYU Stern class of 2024. However, NYU Stern gave a chance to 25% of the applicants, so around 960 people, and out of them around 320 people enrolled. As you know by now, business schools care a lot about maintaining diversity in the class. Almost half of the NYU Stern class of 2024 is female and 44% are international students. The average GPA of the NYU Stern class of 2024 is 3.6, the average GMAT score is 733, and the average GRE score is 325. Most of the students of the class of 2024 have a background in engineering, followed by business and economics. Just like the other top schools I already talked about, every student in the NYU Stern class of 2024 has some work experience. The average work experience is around 5 years, with 24% of the Stern class of 2024 having a background in financial services, followed by consulting. The class of 2022 received a median base salary of $170,000 and a median signing bonus of $35,000. Over 34% of the class of 2022 found employment in financial services, followed by consulting and technology. Candidates who found a job in consulting and financial services received a median salary of $175,000. The majority of the graduates of the class of 2022 found employment in the United States, and only around 4% of the graduates chose to work outside the US. In the US, around 82% found jobs in the Northeast and around 6% in the West. The tuition, including living expenses, housing, insurance, and other fees, totals around $125,000 per year. Alright, as you can see, there is a pattern among the best business schools in the United States. They all want students with high test scores and with at least a few years of work experience, no matter what industry you're coming from. And diversity is very important across all mentioned business schools. They all welcome all possible genders and students from all parts of the world. What these schools also have in common is that they come with high rewards, whether it's a strong alumni network, excellent education, or simply attractive compensation. No matter what school you end up choosing, you can't go wrong with any of those schools, provided that you get accepted to their program. So do your due diligence and plan ahead in a timely manner. I also encourage you to watch my other videos on this channel before you hit the submit button for your application. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments down below, and good luck with your application. And with that said, thanks for checking out this video. As always, if you enjoyed this content and got value out of it, please hit the like button down below, and on your way down there, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell if you haven't done that already. That's it for today, and I'll catch you next time.